Or why don't you just, and you're like, yeah, okay,
Fuck
it's
you, why
that
don't you
easy.
sell my
Thank you
house?
so much.
Jen motherfucking Jen, president, Jen motherfucking Jen, president, Jen motherfucking Jen, president, Jen motherfucking Jen, president.
Hello Poppets, how's everybody doing today? I hope you're doing well. First of all, I'd like to thank Jennifer for this shirt. It means a lot to me, thank you very much. The semicolon has become a symbol for suicide awareness. And basically what a semicolon is that when you feel like ending a sentence but you want to continue with another thought that relates to that sentence, you use a semicolon. So what the symbolism behind this is that when you feel that you have gotten to a point where you think you should take your life, the symbol behind the semicolon is to remind you that suicide is a long-term permanent solution to a short-term problem. So it means a lot to me. I recently got just a tiny little semicolon on my wrist. She took note of that and sent me this shirt, and it means a lot to me, so thank you very much. Today's video is a Twitch stream that I did with not my regular longtime friend Panda, but a new Panda that I just met. His name is Garrett Panda, and he is on Twitch. I will put his information down below. We did a live stream last week in which we talked about depression, anxiety, and suicide. I am going to just share that with you today. Now, parts of the video are glitchy because of our Skype connection that we had at the time, but the information in it I think could be very helpful to people. I know for myself, in the times that I have struggled, I feel that I'm alone. And I think a lot of people think that they're alone, but when you reach out and talk to other people, you find that they're going through the same things you're going through, or they're having feelings similar to yours. So this video is a little glitchy in places, but I think it's very important to listen to. And maybe if you have somebody in your life that is struggling with anxiety and depression, you could share it with them so that they can hear and see that they are not alone. So I'm gonna go ahead and share that with you now. I hope you enjoy it. So this is, what do you call this podcast? Not a podcast, stream.
I'm just gonna call it "I'll Show You Crazy." I think that's fitting.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, it is. It is.
I guess I can kind of go into why I wanted to do this. I was a totally normal, I would say normal person, like didn't deal with any depression, anxiety, nothing weird, just went through my entire life up until I was turning 20. I think I was just turning 20, and I decided to move from California to Arizona. And I'm driving the U-Haul with all our stuff in it, and all of a sudden I just start feeling like the most intense tiredness like I've ever felt in my entire life. And I was like, I slept last night, so why am I so incredibly exhausted? Like, this is bizarre. And then I get to a point where I was like, I'm going to fall asleep. Like, there's no way I'm not going to fall asleep. Something's wrong. And so I finally pull over the U-Haul, and I did. As soon as I pulled that thing over, I literally just fell asleep for like a matter of maybe 5 seconds and then woke back up. And I was just like, what the fuck is wrong with me? This isn't normal. This has never happened. Am I dying? What's going on? I'm just like, listen, I can't drive it. I was like, I don't know what's wrong with me. We're already like 2 hours into the drive, and the drive is only like 6 hours. So I'm like, we already have the U-Haul. Everything's in it. There's no going back. We already got rid of our place we had. So I was like, maybe there's something about the stress of driving the U-Haul. I wasn't feeling that way because I had never dealt with anxiety. So I'm not familiar with what is going to trigger that. Maybe it's something about that because it's the biggest fucking U-Haul they sell. Maybe I'm just, so there's something about my mind that's just not cool with it, even though I'm not aware of that. I'm not feeling like that's what it is, but maybe it's just something subconscious. So she's like, okay, yeah, go ahead. Like, it's going to stress me out, but if you're passing out, like, obviously that's not a good fit. So I got in my car, and I was just driving that, and I still had the tiredness, but definitely not to the extent that I had it in the U-Haul. So we got to Arizona. As soon as we got in the house, I was like, put the mattress on the floor. I just want to go to sleep. And so I did. I fell asleep, and the next morning I felt kind of just not myself, just kind of weird, almost like half asleep, half awake, and I just felt out of it. The next day I felt totally fine. And for the next 6 months of living in Arizona, the first 6 months we were here, I just never had another symptom, never had anything happen. And then just one day, like about 6 months after that, just one day out of the blue, I have no idea what caused it, no idea what was happening. I was just sitting on my couch, I was watching a YouTube video, and I just had the most insane, like, I'm going to throw up, and I'm also going to pass out. And I don't know why. I don't know what I did, but I'm just super nauseous. My heart's going a million miles an hour, and I just feel like I'm dying. I'm having a heart attack. I'm going to have a stroke. I don't know what's happening. I'm going to die. And so I told my girlfriend that, and she's like, okay, well, what's wrong? Like, do you need to? And I was like, I need to go to the hospital right now. So I go to the hospital. I'm dying. I'm convinced. I'm for real convinced. And he's like, no, it looks like you're just having a panic attack. And I'm like, what the fuck is a panic panic attack.
I've been to the ER for the same thing.
And I was just so confused and completely puzzled. I was like, okay, well, what does that mean? When does it go away? How do I stop it? Why did this happen?
It's happened to me too. I wasn't stressed, and then all of a sudden I felt like I was having a heart attack. I was having the symptoms that they tell you that you have, like the chest pain. It was up in my jaw. It was in my arm. I was having a hard time breathing. I went to the ER and it was an anxiety attack.
Yeah, and it's terrifying.
It is terrifying. And over the past few years, they've become more and more frequent for me because of all the different things I was going through, which for you were going through a major life change, even though you wanted to do it.
Correct.
You wanted to move, but you were going through a major life change. And that was the same thing for me with my divorce. Even though I wanted a divorce, it was just a major, major life change. And you mentioned being really tired. And that's something that I noticed that happens to me. Like maybe a week ago, 2 weeks ago, it was on the weekend. And I was just really, really down. I slept so much because my body just shuts down. It's like, I just don't want to deal with anything. I just want to go sleep.
Yeah.
That's what I noticed happens to me a lot. So you had a major life change going on, and then your body was just saying no.
It was so frustrating because it's like a bunch of people in my life were just like, well, something has to be causing it. What's causing it? What can you change? What can you I don't know, because my body isn't directly telling me, hey, this is what's wrong. Because it wasn't anything I didn't like. It wasn't like anything was happening in my life where I was like, this sucks. I want to change this. I'm uncomfortable. None of that was happening. So when people are just like, well, you got to change what's wrong. And I'm like, I don't think anything is wrong. I just think
I can't change it. Like, what do you want me to do? Like I thought about that I would love to sell my house and have like a smaller place and a cheaper place. But first of all, it's stressful as shit to sell a house. I live here by myself. I have 4 dogs. And then I looked at places that you could rent around here. And it was basically, I would be paying maybe like $200 less a month in rent. Yeah. Plus, every time they want to show the house, I got to get the 4 dogs out of the house. And I didn't get 4 dogs by myself. I got 4 dogs when I was married. So it's just like constant stuff. And so when people mean well, sometimes that makes it even worse because they're like, well, why don't you just sell your house? Or why don't you just, and you're like, yeah, okay.
Fuck you. Why don't you sell my
Thank
house?
you so much. I mean, you're just stressing me out more by making me feel like I need to be doing things that are literally, they're impossible right now.
Yeah.
I'm already stressed out, and trying to sell a house is going to make the stress so much worse. Sometimes you can't do anything. There's really nothing you can do but just try to make it through. And I try to tell myself, okay, just focus on what is happening right now. But I get so overwhelmed with something that's going to happen like Tuesday. And I have to use a calendar, write things down, and I mark things off as I get them done. And once they're marked off, that's it. It's time to go sit down somewhere and watch TV and just give yourself a damn break. The hardest things for me is to just give myself a break and know when to just shut it off. It's time to stop for the day.
Yeah, and I have a really hard time with that. It's like I can do it kind of now, but before it's like my mind would be going so fast, and the only thing to break the anxiety, even the slightest bit, was like I needed to be working on something, because at the time I worked in mortgage. I needed to be working. I needed to have something up to watch if I wanted to. I needed to have a conversation going here. I literally needed to have so many things going because it was the only way that I could break the cycle of just nonstop thoughts.
You just said that because I diagnosed pretty much myself, but I did go to the doctor and speak to him about it. And I am bipolar too, which means that I have periods of severe depression, but I also have those periods where I have got to stay busy. And I will pack so much shit into one day that the next day I can barely function because I can't stop. I can't slow down. I will do like all the shopping, clean the house, cut the grass, pay the bill, all in one day because it's the only way to like not be up here.
Yeah.
So he's given me a new medication, which is a mood stabilizer, so that hopefully I won't have such extreme, and I hate, it's like, I don't know, there's such a stigma on mental health, and especially for some reason, bipolar disorder. People love to just talk shit about bipolar disorder. We can't help it that we have that. If I had cancer, you gonna make fun of me for that? That's what I don't understand.
It's almost like it was just used as a template for like, that person's a bitch. Almost like that's how growing up, like whenever my sister was being a bitch, the family members would be like, well, she's just bipolar. It was just used as this trying to be mean, but not trying to be mean, like be mean, but say it's not her fault. But even though she doesn't have bipolar, you're just saying that she does because she's currently being a bitch.
We need to do some work on the stigma that goes with people with mental health, because that's a main reason people don't reach out. I had to stand in a courtroom with somebody that did me wrong. And the reason that I was so depressed and anxious and everything during that period of time was because of things that had been done to me during my divorce. And then I had to stand there and have that person say, oh, and Your Honor, you know, she talks publicly about her anxiety and her depression and times that she's thought about committing suicide, you know, and the judge is looking at me like, you know, and I'm like
it's some kind of, it's
so
almost
I'm
like
not
it's
supposed to talk about it. Did you want me to talk about it or not talk about it? I mean, the only reason I feel that way is because of you sons of bitches. I don't understand. Am I supposed to ask for help and talk about it or not? Because they say talk about it, but the minute you do, then you're crazy.
Absolutely. I mean, I dealt with that I currently don't. I'm working my way back into getting into mortgage. But the reason I left is because I worked at a company where basically it was like, okay, here's your project. You should be happy you have a job. You get to work from home. So there's your plus. We're not going to pay your taxes. We're not going to pay for your computer. We're not going to pay for if anything breaks. You pay for your software. It's all in. You get to work from home. That's the benefit. Also, you're going to work 14 hours a day. And if you don't get things complete, even if it means working 14 hours a day, fuck you, you're fired. We'll move on to the next person. And it got to that point where I was just like, okay, I don't stop. So if you give me a job, I'm going to do fine, whatever. I'll sacrifice my life, which is what I did. I didn't leave my house for a good year. I just worked and I worked and I worked and I made okay money. So it was fine, whatever. I'm secure. I'm safe. And then it got to the point where they were like, they want more. So now I was going to work 14 hours a day to get everything done, but they also want me to train 3 people and have, so that's like 6 hours a day to get them trained up. And then they wanted me working weekends. And then they wanted me doing this. And then they wanted to cut my pay because they felt like a manager shouldn't be making as much as I did. Then it was just like thing after thing after thing after thing. And I got to a point where I was talking with a coworker who I thought I was friends with. Like we'd worked together for a long time. I thought we were cool. And I started explaining, I was like, I can't deal. I was like, this is too much for any person, let alone someone who like is already dealing with stuff on top of that. And she just gave me this talking to about how basically you can't express any sort of weakness whatsoever. And I was just like, well, that's bullshit, because every single one of you, I guarantee, is going through some sort of fucking something mentally. No one's perfect.
Yeah, we all are, you know, because I talked to my mom about it because it's just been so rough. And she's like, look, every single one of us is struggling. And even one of my friends yesterday was like, I'm just having a really hard day. I'm not in a good place mentally. And I said, well, I'm here to talk. If you want to chat on the phone, you can call me. If you just want to text, we can do that. I said, but I'm going to be honest and truthful with you that I'm not glad you're upset, but it's nice to know that I'm not the only one. Because some days I'm just like, everybody else has it together.
Correct.
And I'm sitting here like falling apart, struggling. So I don't want my friend to be upset, but I was just like, you know, I'm glad that I'm not the only one feeling like this. It's really rough for me because I am a loner. I do like being by myself. Living alone does not bother me at all, but I don't have anybody here to talk to about stuff like that. Yeah. I don't have anybody who will look at me except for like when Alex is here, because he's here a lot and he's really good at being like, okay, what is it? I don't have anybody here most of the time who can say, what's wrong? Are you okay? So I just walk around with all these feelings inside myself. Not really. It's nice when someone else notices it. That's what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
It's nice,
and that's getting part of why I wanted to do this, because once they started coming, once that 6 months was over and I was in there, once they started coming, it was like I couldn't stop them. Every single day I had a panic attack. Every single day I was exhausted.
Oh, I know.
Every single day. And I got to like 8 solid months of it, and I was like, I can't keep doing this. Like I was just in a point where I'm not depressed. I don't feel like I want to die, but I can't do this.
That's exactly what I was doing. Okay. First of all, I started filming my panic attacks, because what would happen was once they were over, I was like, okay, you just made a big damn deal out of like nothing. So I started filming them so that I could see what I was actually like while I was having them. I want people to understand something. I was driving home from Ohio one day. I had been there all weekend doing photos. All the way home, all I could think about was that I wanted to die. And I didn't have a plan. I didn't want to hurt myself. I didn't want to kill myself. I just didn't want to be here, because I kept thinking, I can't keep doing this. I cannot keep going this way. If this is what life is, I don't want to do this. And so people, they don't understand it, that a lot of times when people have suicidal thoughts, it's not, I want to kill myself. It's, I see no way out of this.
Yeah.
You know, I see no way out of this. It's never going to get better.
Correct.
Never.
And in my opinion, I would never want to say anything to like a professional, because then it's like you get you get fucking, you're going to throw me in the loony bin? Like, I'm going to lock me up?
That's what I'm saying too, because I did finally for the first time tell my friend maybe 3 weeks ago, I was like, I'm having a really hard day and I want to hurt myself. I'm not going to do it, but I want to. And I'm always scared that they're going to dial 911 and I'm going to, like you said, I'm going to end up somewhere. And I can't do that. I got to work. I got to pay my bills.
I would sit outside because I didn't want to be medicated. I didn't want to face the fact that something was actually wrong with me. I was dealing with it and it was miserable, but I didn't want to. I'm 20 fucking years old. I have a great fucking job and mortgage. I have an amazing fucking partner who I plan to be with for the rest of my life. I have 3 beautiful dogs. I have this gorgeous house in Arizona. I'm sitting outside next to a fucking pool. I shouldn't be a 20-year-old with a fucking pool. I shouldn't. This doesn't make sense. This isn't fair to anybody else. And I'm just sitting there thinking, God, it'd be great to just hop in the fucking pool and just stay at the bottom of it for a while. Like, I just, because it's just fucking unbearable. And it's just like, and you can't say that, or I can't say that because I can't stop functioning. I'm not willing to just go spend my life locked up. I can function, but I just need a fucking break. And when the break doesn't come, it's unbearable.
I know exactly what you mean. It just seems like it's getting harder to even survive. I used to not have money issues. I mean, I've been holding it down here by myself for 3 years now after my divorce, but it's just getting harder. Plus, don't even get me started on the damn news and how angry I get when I read stuff. People are like, well, don't read it. But then it's like, oh, so you don't want me to watch the news? You don't want me to keep up with like what's going on? It's like, you're damned if you do, damned if you don't.
People are so angry, and it's like when you're already anxious, I can't deal with everyone being angry. I can't. And I get that people, a lot of situations, people are justified to be angry. Like, I'd be angry if I was really reading up on everything. I'd be angry too. But I can't be angry, and I can't deal with just anger when I'm so fucking anxious all the time already that I really had to just completely disconnect.
Like I just simply said yesterday, I wasn't angry about it. I simply said, I just realized, or I just found out that crossing the border illegally is a misdemeanor. So there was an argument people were using that was like, okay, well, if you do other crimes, don't you go to jail and get separated from your kids? And while that is
not with a misdemeanor,
right? Not with a misdemeanor.
Yeah.
And so like I simply said that, I was like, just for the people who are saying this, I'm just telling you it's a misdemeanor, and if they do it again, then it can be charged as a felony. So I'm just having a hard time understanding why they're separate. You would have thought I just fucking stabbed a goddamn kitten on Twitter when I said that. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I was just like, okay, guys, everybody just calm down. I did not mean to piss everybody off.
And that's what I'm talking about with the anger. It's like no matter what side you take, no matter, even if you're neutral, people are going to come for your fucking head. And as someone, like I used to be really outspoken about a bunch of shit. I would, this is before Twitter. This is when Facebook was all the rage. And I would defend my points. I would say whatever, I was willing to debate people all day long because I don't debate out of hate. I don't debate out of wanting to win. I debate out of just, let's have a conversation. And it got to this point where it was like, then my anxiety took over and it was like, I don't even want to because I can't deal with someone coming at me.
That's what happened yesterday. And I ended up going and apologizing to 2 different people because I got so heated that I was super fucking mean. And so I ended up going to them and saying, I am upset and already anxious. I already have a lot of stuff going on. And when you came at me like that, that wasn't a good thing. And how I deal with things, because I have dealt with so much trolling and hatred on the internet in the past 5 years, is I do that thing that cats do, is turn sideways and hunch your back up, make yourself look bigger, and tell people not to fuck with me. Whereas really inside, most of the time I'm like, dude, I don't even want to do this.
Even like, okay, so this is kind of a weird example, but I think it's a fine example. It's like with Roseanne. Roseanne said some shit that she shouldn't have said. I think everyone in their right mind can agree that bad. Even if you thought that even if she claims she thought the woman wasn't Black, even if so, just stupid joke. You don't have to make it. Doesn't need to be there. I love Roseanne. I love the show Roseanne. I've always been a fan of what she did for female comedy. I'm a huge
Me too. I love Roseanne, but I was like, what are you doing? And I mean, I've been doing that for a while. It hadn't just started. People act like it was just one tweet. No, she's been going off for a long time, skating by, and she just said the wrong thing. She finally just said the wrong damn thing.
And with her saying the wrong thing, it's like, trust me, I agree with that. Wrong thing. Even if someone says something fucked up, which we can all agree she said something fucked up, the amount of just pure hatred I saw in her, it made me sad as a person. I was like, how? This is an 70-year-old woman? And you guys are like saying like, you hope she dies and gets like just, and I was just like, I get that you're upset. You have a right to be, but but holy crap, if I was her, I couldn't deal with that.
I felt really bad for her because it was late one night when she ended up deleting the tweet. She was saying stuff like, God, please help me. I didn't mean it the way that it came out. And she was like, God, what have I done?
Yeah.
She said something like, even that little black girl on my show, now she's going to think I don't like her because she's black. And I was like, this poor thing. But she deleted them. But she was in her feelings that night, and I felt really bad for her because we have all said and done some dumb shit.
Absolutely.
I think back to some of the things I've said and done, and I'm like, oh my God.
I think I went to one of her most recent tweets and I just commented, I understand that you don't like what she had to say, and I understand that what she said was wrong, but this is a person, and you guys are saying the most awful, hurtful shit, and all the responses were just like, fuck you, you must be a fucking white supremacist too. And it's just like, no, I just think that she's a human being, and you shouldn't plus no one wants to consider the fact that Roseanne has mental illnesses. She's very open about it. Can you imagine going through already your brain turning against you? Now let's have the entire country turn against you, and they're publicly allowed to say anything they want to you.
And that just made a lot of sense to me because I remember when all the stuff was going on Vine when my friend was raped, and that's when I became really, really vocal about my own rape. And because the person who raped her was super famous on Vine.
I was going to say, well, let's comment down there.
On Vine. Because he had so many fans and stuff, I was just attacked day in and day out. And so my own brain, like you said, was already attacking me on my own all the time. And then I had all these people acting like crazy people and treating me so badly that I lashed out at them. Because that was all I knew to do. That's all I knew how to handle it.
I just don't understand the blind rage. People, they're blindly following the idea of what Roseanne said was wrong. And by blindly, I mean just they were spewing every negative thing they could think of because they were just going to drive home that point. And it's like almost kind of the same thing with, I don't know his last name, but I believe his first name was Curtis. It's like his fans, no matter what he had done or what the situation was, they were just going to drive home the point that they're Curtis fans and fuck you. And it's just, what's with the blind hate?
I don't know. I have no idea. That's the part I didn't understand. I was like, and he was not even did he just do what he did, but he was just so nasty and negative and so mean on the internet about it when he wasn't even supposed to be talking about it. Yeah. But he was, and he was saying disgusting shit. They still were like, hey, he's the greatest guy in the world. We love him.
We don't know him. We've never had a conversation with him before, but he's great. Jesse's a hero.
I feel that if you have a platform, if you have been given a platform, you should use it and share things so that other people can learn from it or know that they're not alone.
And it kind of goes into, I wanted to do this because I wanted for there to be a place where it's like, before I even looked for medication, before I looked for therapists, before I looked for any of that, I just desperately wanted to talk to somebody or see somebody who was going through, I would just Google endlessly. These are my symptoms. I just Google them until I found somebody who resembled, even in the slightest, my symptoms. And it would just be the biggest rock off my chest just to find somebody who's explaining what I'm explaining. Because it's like, okay, I'm not alone.
Well, we should do this again. I have to go because I got an appointment. But anytime, let me know and we can chat again.
For sure. Love to.
Okay. Thank you.
All right. Everyone says endless clapping. So.
Oh, okay. Bye.
All right, bye.
So guys, I hope that you got something from that, and if you think that it would be helpful to share with someone else, please do so. I'm going to list all of Garrett's information down below so that you can go find him. And if you are feeling down or anxious or depressed, please remember that you are not alone. There are always resources that you can reach out to. Reach out to your friends, your family, or you can find resources in the description of my video. That's all for today. Please give this video a thumbs up. Please subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, and if you have, thank you so much. Please make sure you click the little bell icon down below so it will tell you every time I put up a new video. I do videos on Tuesdays and Saturdays, and I also put a vlog on this channel on Fridays. So go out and have a good day. Don't take any shit off anybody, and I'll see you back here next time. Bye! Ow! Ow!